Good morning, it's today again. Welcome back to Joseph's Reserves. I'm Joseph and I store 20% of my income in the form of rare coins and precious metals. If you've been stacking for a while and you're feeling discouraged, this video is for you. If you've looked at your stack and thought it isn't enough, this is for you. If premiums are frustrating you, if price moves test your patience, if small purchases feel insignificant, I want to remind you something today. Stacks are not built in the exciting moments. They're built in the ordinary ones. This is normally where I take a second to shout out the person who commented first on yesterday's video. However, I am out of town and this video is pre-recorded. So unfortunately, I'm not even sure who got the first comment on yesterday's video, but I'll make sure to shout you out on Monday's video tomorrow. There's a part of stacking that no one really talks about. It's not when there's big purchases, it's not when silver spikes up, and it's not when gold is breaking new heights. It's in the middle, the quiet months, the boring weeks, the slow accumulation. That's where most people either solidify their discipline or start to drift away. And if you're in the middle right now, this video is just a steady reminder to stay the course. Life has seasons, and stacking is just like that. There are seasons where silver runs and everyone feels brilliant. And there are seasons where gold breaks out and confidence is high. And then there are seasons where nothing seems to happen. Premiums feel annoying, the market feels stagnant, your purchases feel small, and these seasons are the seasons where doubt creeps in. You start asking, is this worth it? Should I be doing something else? Am I moving too slowly? And here's what I want you to understand. The slow seasons are the foundation seasons. Anyone can stack when it's exciting. Anyone can buy when the momentum is strong. But the real discipline is formed when the excitement fades. When I started stacking, there was no applause. There was no big audience. There was no dramatic market event pushing me. There was just a decision. A decision to allocate consistently. And consistency, especially when it felt small, is incredibly powerful. We live in a world that glorifies speed, fast money, fast growth, fast results, and stacking doesn't usually look like that. Stacking looks like repetition. It looks like choosing to buy an ounce instead of something temporary. It looks like saying no to upgrades and saying yes to your reserves. It looks like patience, and patience is not flashy, but patience builds. One of the biggest discouragements stackers feel is comparison. You see someone with hundreds of ounces, you see someone with a monster box, you see someone adding gold bars, and you look at your modest stack and think, I'm behind. But you're not behind. You're on your timeline. You're on your income. It's your allocation. Every stack you see that looks impressive was once small. My first purchase 3 years ago was 8 ounces. Back then it was $200. Every disciplined stacker once held their first ounce. The only difference between a small stack and a large stack is time and repetition. That's it. Nothing magical, nothing secret. Just time and repetition. Another thing that discourages people is price movement. When silver dips after you buy, it can feel frustrating. And when gold stalls for months, it can feel pointless. But if your strategy is structured, if you're buying consistently, those movements don't define you. They're just part of the cycle. Stacking is not about perfect timing. It's about positioning. You're positioning yourself slowly, steadily, and intentionally. And positioning takes time. Think about this. If you commit to buying even 1 ounce a month, that's 12 ounces in a year. In 5 years, that's 60 ounces. Over 10 years, that's 120 ounces. And that's just 1 ounce per month. Most people underestimate what slow consistency produces because we're conditioned to think that big moves create big results. But in reality, small repeated actions create stability. and stability creates confidence. Stacking isn't just about metal, it's about your mindset. It's about teaching yourself to think long term, to value reserves over impulses, to value preparation over reaction. And those traits bleed into everything else in life. Budgeting improves, spending becomes intentional, planning becomes natural. Even if your stack feels small today, the habit you are building is not small. The habit is the real asset. There will be moments when you feel tempted to stop, when you think, maybe I'll just skip this month. And sometimes life happens, sometimes you need to pause, and that's okay. But don't quit because it feels boring. Don't quit because it feels slow. Don't quit because someone else looks farther ahead than you. Boring consistency wins. Quiet discipline wins. And here's something important. Your stack does not have to impress anyone. It only has to serve its purpose. If your goal is emergency preparedness, then even a modest reserves matters. If your goal is long-term preservation, even gradual accumulation matters. If your goal is generational thinking, then steady structure matters. Not speed, structure. There's something deeply stabilizing about knowing that every month you're converting a portion of your labor into something tangible, something outside the banking system, something historically recognized, and something that has endured. That's not dramatic, that's just wise. If you're feeling discouraged, zoom out. Don't look at this week. Don't look at this month. Look at 5 years. Look at 10 years. Picture the version of yourself who stayed consistent, who didn't quit during the slow season, who didn't panic during these dips, and who didn't overextend during spikes. That version of you will be grateful for today's discipline. Stacking is a long road, and long roads require endurance. But endurance builds strength. And your purchases may feel small, but remember, small doesn't mean insignificant. It means sustainable. And sustainable beats aggressive every time. You don't need to chase big moves. You don't need to double your stack overnight. You need to stay steady. Steady hands build steady stacks. And if you've been stacking for months or years and you're still here, that says something about you. It says that you value preparation. It says that you value discipline. It says that you are thinking ahead. That already puts you in a small percentage of people. Most people live reactively. Most people consume everything they earn. You're building a reserves, and that matters. If no one has told you this recently, you're doing better than you think. Even if your stack feels modest, even if progress feels slow, even if the market feels frustrating, progress measured in ounces over years is real progress. Don't let the noise of the market drown out the quiet strength of consistency. Stay the course, stay disciplined, and stay patient. Because stacking isn't about winning this month, it's about building something that lasts. If you're feeling discouraged, don't quit. If you're feeling behind, zoom out. If you're feeling impatient, remember why you started. Stacking is built in ordinary weeks, and ordinary weeks repeated consistently create extraordinary stability. So stay steady, stay wise.
I just made my own line of coffee. Joseph's Reserves It's Today Again coffee. Most mornings aren't dramatic. They're quiet. You wake up, pour yourself a cup, and now you have a choice. Drift through the day or take hold of what's in front of you. That's really what this whole thing's about. Showing up, building good habits, staying disciplined in the small things. Whether that's stacking consistently, learning something new, or just being faithful with what you've been given. I put these words on every bag to remind myself first. Every morning is a gift. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, today. So take a breath, take a sip, and let's get to work. It's today again. You can now write me at Joseph's Reserves, 10160 Highway 242, Suite 800, number 401 in Conroe, Texas, zip code 77385. Make sure to include your information so I can write you back.
If you liked today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Go down into the comment section to start some conversations or ask questions. Share the video with someone you think may like it, and subscribe if you haven't already. But most of all, thank you so much for watching. And just remember, every ounce adds up, so no matter how small, just keep stacking. I usually leave a text of a Bible verse and just leave it at that, but this one is important. It's where "it's today again" comes from. Hebrews 3:13. But encourage one another daily, as long as it is called today, so that none of you may be hardened by sin's deceitfulness. Every day is today, and it's today again. So go out and encourage. God bless.